friends. How are you? Welcome to Life Coach Carmen YouTube channel, where you recover and heal and live your best life by claiming your health and wealth. And in today's video, we're going to talk about building your non-negotiables, a menu for how to live your best life. One of them is to figure out what your non-negotiables are. And if this is the first time you've heard of this term, let me assure you this will be one of the best exercises that you will ever do to determine the direction of your life and not exhaust yourself, and to make sure that you are living your best life unapologetically. So with that, I want to say we have sort of limited amount of energy per day. Okay, so I think the goal here is to learn how to expand and revitalize your energy so that you have more to go with, but also to understand that we can all do everything and anything, but just not at the same time. Okay, so with that, with those premises, we need to learn to know what are absolutely important to us, that we have to make sure that those needs are fulfilled before we can do anything else. Those are your bare minimum. And we should all have a list of them so that we can then set healthy and firm boundaries around them. And without that, it's going to be a little bit messy, because you have a pot of things that you all want to do, but you do not know where it all begins and ends, and it becomes this big, huge thing in multiple layers it can lead to us leading a very confused, disorganized life. And since I've talked about in this channel how to understand your top 3 energy drainers and your top 3 energy replenishers, and if you haven't done that, take a look at that video first, because I think that will help you with this one, because you want to be able to sit down and lay out what your top 3 energy drainers are so that you can minimize them as much as possible, and to understand what your top 3 energy replenishers are so that you can then make sure that you're checking them off and maximizing them in your life. And I've also made another video that talks about the recovery wheel, and that has a lot of exciting things, sort of like a recovery menu, so to speak, where you have a list of recommended suggestions for how to rejuvenate your life. So with those two, then you can then sit down and figure out really, truly what works for you. What is your list of non-negotiables, so that you train yourself and others to follow and understand that those are your non-negotiables, and people around you would slowly, maybe not overnight, but slowly understand what your needs are, whether you're entering a relationship or a situation or day-to-day living with your family. They should know, should have a rough idea of what those are, but before they would understand, you should know what they are, so that then everybody would be trained slowly to understand and accommodate them. And so this is a very powerful exercise. Again, it's a free download. Go and download the document so that you can spend 5 to 10 minutes, sit down and write and journal them down. And the first page would be name your non-negotiables, and what would those be. And I have attached a list of things that could be examples, and for example, things like, I go to sleep at 10 p.m. Okay, so that's a non-negotiable, and if you honor that, then you know that it's going to work for you. So what you value, what you honor, what works for you is a non-negotiable. Another example would be, I only work 4 days a week. And so if that is a non-negotiable, there must be a reason why. And that must be because you honor your feel good, your comfort level, your maximum enjoyment of life, and your freedom and your pleasure and leisures. And those are all extremely important, because life is not something that we should suffer from day to day. We really need to make sure that our goal is to live the most joyful life with the most juicy things that we surround ourselves with maximum amount of leisure, pleasure, and freedom. Without those things, life could be a little bit messy, okay? So let's make sure that we throw that out there. Therefore, you would understand, then you would have a non-negotiable because you want to live your best life. Another example would be, I don't take calls, messages from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. and on weekends. So if that is important to you, that's a non-negotiable. Again, that's something that you would then turn other people to understand with, and that they should honor and be trained to accommodate. If you don't set that boundary, and if nobody else knows, then it's not a non-negotiable, right? So you have to be able to be comfortable to make sure everybody around you understand that, and that's something that may need a little, training and a little getting used to, but it's absolutely important. We can talk more about this topic in another video, but today's exercise really is to help you build a menu of your non-negotiables. Another example would be to I do not work before 9 a.m. and after 6 p.m. Okay, that's another non-negotiable. Another example would be, I downshift technology after 8 p.m. Okay, so that's something, again, that you want to honor and make sure that it's known, and you set up your environment so that it's being observed and honored. So the list can go on and on, really, and I think these are just very basic examples, but some other examples would be, I move my body 3 times a week, or I eat a very healthy diet, but I cheat 2 days a week, or 2 meals a week, or I watch 2 movies that I like every week. I take a dance class with this teacher every week. I learn how to play an instrument, and I'm gonna work on it at least 30 minutes a day. Or I go out with friends and party at least twice a month. So these are non-negotiables. And it's absolutely important that you know what those are. So that way you're not teetering on saying yes or no without that framework of boundaries around you. So with that, I hope this video is going to help you out. I believe in you. I want to say I'm sending you love and light, and hope you enjoy this exercise.